Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today it's going to be a best of 5 for your Sunday series between Rogue and TY from Blizzcon 2018. Game number 1 will be on Cerulean Fall, the latter edition. In the top right-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player. It is Rogue, former BlizzCon champion Rogue 2017. And in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player, it is TY, one of the 4 horsemen. The 4 best Terrans on planet Earth. I am so very excited to bring this match to you, to bring this best of 5 to you today. It's going to be an excellent time for your Sunday. It is your holiday weekend. If you're watching this in the United States right now, you just enjoyed Thanksgiving. You probably spent time with some family. You ate a whole lot of turkey, a whole lot of pie. You are probably just full to bursting and probably feeling pretty sick. I was actually having a discussion the other day with one of my friends that I work with about the sanctity of Thanksgiving and the food thereof. And there was, a couple of years ago, I went to a Thanksgiving at my in-laws' house, and nobody bothered to make mashed potatoes. There were no mashed potatoes, you guys. They decided that scalloped potatoes were the way to go. I didn't know about this. I showed up Thanksgiving morning, and that was the state of things, and I was bummed because you couldn't just go buy potatoes and make your own at that stage. Everything's closed on Thanksgiving morning, at least in that city in Idaho. And as a result, there were no mashed potatoes, and it was a violation of the sanctity of Thanksgiving as far as I was concerned. The other foods, we're just going to keep this quick. Mashed potatoes, turkey, and pie. If you don't have those 3 things at Thanksgiving, what are you doing? I understand you want to innovate. You want to try some different things with your cooking. You have 364 other days of the year to do that. Don't mess with Thanksgiving. I'm telling you this because one day you'll be in charge of a Thanksgiving, and you'll be like, well, I don't know, mashed potatoes are okay, but what if we did rice instead? And sure, rice is delicious. I like rice. But Thanksgiving has a very particular way to do things, and if you mess it up, it is a war crime. That's where I stand with this. All right, so moving out is a Reaper. The Reaper's name is Dr. Bees. A normal wasp-themed superhero by day, Dr. Bees uses bees to save mankind. However, after saving a happy wedding, a calm family picnic, and the support group for a people deadly allergic to bees by summoning swarms of bees, Dr. Bees was arrested and sent to the Terran Dominion's highly successful mental health program, the Reaper Program. Now, Dr. Bees actually can save mankind with the power of buzzing stingers, as he replaced all of his bullets with bees and chucks hives at his enemies. Wow, Dr. Bees, you don't sound like a very good dude. He's protecting this command center, though, so that is a nice thing for him to do, as early Lings would be a problem in shutting down the SCV building this command center and delaying its construction. And at this level of StarCraft, at this level where we have a BlizzCon champion and one of the best 4 Terran players on Earth, yeah, it matters. If you get this command center delayed, it matters a whole ton. Third base coming up for Rogue. I mean, it's almost done at the 3-minute mark. This is how fast that third base was, you guys. It is. I mean, we watch pro players at lower levels here have their third base started sub 3 minutes, but don't have it done sub 3 minutes. So that's just where Rogue is right now. Rogue is on fire. Rogue is ready to go. Rogue is ready to punch you in the face. And TY happens to be standing right in front of him. Starport from TY. He does, again, the Reaper's still back home, which I'm very surprised by. Usually by this point, the Reaper's moved out, as there are Hellions just very much forthcoming here. And I guess once the Hellions show up, the Reaper will move out with them. Just because you can defend against Ling attacks with the Hellion production coming out of the factory here that is reactored. But it's probably going to be a Banshee follow-up at this stage from TY. I would not be shocked to see that is the case. We have the double gas here from TY. He has saved up a bit of gas there as well. And that is a tech lab. That's a tech lab on the starport. So this is something that needs to be scouted by Rogue, or at least he needs to have some kind of a game sense to recognize that Banshees are coming and get some Spore Crawlers in here to deal with the potential for Cloak. Although, Rogue is at a level where he will not get Spore Crawlers if he doesn't need detection. He will use Queens to defend against the Banshees as necessary and spend those drones, or that larva, on drones rather than on Spores. So there we go. Spore coming up. And surprise, it's a Raven from TY. Not actually a Banshee at all. So early Raven here from the Terran player. We have seen Ravens being incorporated more into TVZ recently, but that's a very, very early one here. Going to pick up a couple creep tumors, one at least nicely done. Going to slow down that creep spread by about nothing. That is something the current patch, which by the way, a patch was released last Tuesday. And as a result, I am out of date here, but it's BlizzCon, you guys. What do you want from me? But creep spread was nerfed. It spreads more slowly in the current patch than it does in this game you're watching right now. That is something that they decided to do, and it should, I mean, honestly affect especially TVZs, where creep spread is so very important. You want to engage the Terran army on creep. Terran wants to engage the Zerg off creep, and a good Zerg player will have 3/4 of the map covered in creep in the first 10 minutes. And that's just hard to deal with as a Terran. We'll see how Rogue does here. He's not exactly really obsessed with his creep spread right now, but it's okay. It's fine. Zergling's here for Rogue in a position where I feel like they're going to run in and try to snipe down a third base that TY is working on. TY, it does have a third base here, but it's not in a position where it can really land in this location. It looks more like it's going to head over this way and land in this third base location, which is not being scouted by Rogue at all. We still have the Hellions pushing up. There's the Raven here to provide detection, and we can pick up creep tumors this way. It's a good combination. Sure, it's not really killing units per se, but again, slowing down the creep spread is very, very important in your ZVT. Oh, by the way, I did talk about all the patch notes in the latest edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. There's a link in the description. Search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app or on the internet, and you will find the Falcon Paladin Hour, or again, in-depth discussion on the patch notes for the latest patch for Legacy of the Void, all the things that have changed, including Anabolic Synthesis, which is Ultralisk Speed. I'm so happy, so excited for that. Roach push here from Rogue. Going to try to push on in, get something done here, but there's a tank on the high ground. 2 tanks on the high ground. The Roaches are going to be shut down here. There's just not... No, you're not getting in, Rogue. Third base does land in this location, which, again, Rogue predicted, and he's got Lings ready to go for it, too. So good job forcing that liftoff. And so far, TY wants to get the third base. He's not allowed to. The third base by Rogue has been running for a while, and a fourth base, there it is. Fourth base popping now for Rogue. He is feeling extremely pleased with himself. He's shut down every attempt of TY to slow him down so far in this game. He's got his fourth base before TY really, well, all right. His third base is well established at this point. We have some Marines and a tank defending. Some Ling comes over to see what we're dealing with. And pushing up here again is our Hellion Raven combination. Queen's the way to deal with this. Ravager pretty good as well. Just because if the Raven holds still, it will take some corrosive biles to the top of its head, and we know how deadly that can be. Zergling roasted up. Hellion control by TY is just so stupid good. But it's more Roaches on the way here from Rogue, which is really what we do tend to see in the current meta of ZVT, is a Roach Ravager mid-game transitioning into something like Ultras and Brewlords in the late game for Zerg. And you just can't stick on Roach Ravager too long. I've talked about this for years, but if you try to stick on Roach Ravager past about the 12-minute mark for Zerg, your upgrades are going to start to scale a lot worse than they scale for the Terran army. Marine Marauder armies at 3-3 will wreck your Roach Ravager army at 3-3. It's just a natural state of things. You really need to get up to that tier 3 of whatever you're planning on going for, but sticking on Roach Ravager is suicide. So we'll see a transition out of this eventually for Rogue, but we're only 7 minutes in. Only 7 minutes in. The night is still young here in game number 1 of this best of 5. And pushing up, we got Marines. And going to go ahead and take down some more creep tumors. Trying to see if there's a 5th base coming up, and there's not. I'm kind of surprised by this. Rogue could definitely afford one, but he doesn't have one coming down quite yet. I guess he's happy being 1 base up onto the Terran army, which seems totally fine and totally understandable. +1/+1 coming in for the Roaches and the Ravagers, which indicates we're not going to go Ultras, just because if you start on the missile attack upgrade path, it's hard to also have the melee attack upgrade path, and at that point, your Ultras aren't very good, because they don't have the attack upgrades. But pushing in here is Rogue with a maxed out Roach Ravager army at 8 minutes. Can you do this? I can't do this. I try. But no, I cannot. And here we go. Beautiful anti-armor missiles, though. Holy crap. That was amazing from TY. But that said, the concave is amazing right now. Roaches, Ravagers all hitting corrosive biles on the tanks. 1 tank goes down. Marines taking shots directly to the face. Another tank is trying to shell against these massive Zerg armies. At the same time, though, drop at the top base here for TY. It did take down 16 drones. And tank on the high ground, 2 tanks on the high ground, actually going to shove this away. Rogue might be able to shut down the third base of TY. But again, losing all those drones to that drop, which he did manage to get rid of, was not a good feeling at all. Another anti-armor missile on everybody. Corrosive bile landing, and the third base looks like it's going to live. Damage being found where it can by TY. Is going to try to take down some of these supply depots. Nice corrosive biles, and again, getting chased away here by Marines. The anti-armor missile is also a fantastic equalizer here, where it reduces the armor on the Ravagers, and the Roaches makes them trade worse with the Terran army. But more Roach reinforcements show up here, and now pushing this way is Rogue. But TY is able to hold no problem, and even going to catch a Ravager before it can get back to the safety of the creep, or just as it gets back to the safety of the creep. So decent drop there. Rogue still hasn't resaturated his main base with workers here. Marines, Marauders coming in, +2 infantry attack on the way here from TY. And still more Ravagers here from Rogue. Like, we're getting closer and closer to that 12-minute mark. And Rogue's getting closer and closer to that +3 attack, which is what really, really matters. I'm interested to see if Rogue goes for it here, because he kind of needs to, in my opinion. The other problem with Roach Ravager is it's super bad against this drop style that TY is going for. Just because it's hard for them to kill medevacs. Exceptionally difficult to do that for them. But so far the pressure has been dealt with pretty well, except for this one drop. Enough is here in the main base to shut it down, resaturating his main base's Rogue. Still working on these Roaches, man. He is sticking to the Roach Ravager. Now the Infestation Pit's coming down. Now the Baleen Nest is coming in. That's exactly what we want to see here out of Rogue. TY just sticking with Marines, Marauders, tanks, getting that +2 armor for his infantry, as well as the +3 attack is getting started now, as you really need to do against a Zerg player who's any good. And I think Rogue qualifies here. Drop kind of hanging out in this general area, trying to see if there's a 5th base coming up at all. Rogue's been on 4 bases for a while, you guys. Pretty decent engagement here, though, from the Terran player. Liberator sets up at the natural base, going to go to town on some of these drones, sneaking up a drop along the backside here, too, while engaging at the front. TY's multitasking is through the roof right now. Is another Liberator here at the 3rd base getting kills down. TY is bossing it right now. Corrosive Bile's going down. Anti-armor missiles on all the Roaches and all of the Ravagers. This drop's going to get the Infestation Pit. This Liberator is still killing stuff. She's got 12 total kills. Trying to get up on top of this thing is Rogue, but it's not going to be enough, and that's your good game. Wow, good game. TY coming in, making a statement, winning game 1 against his Zerg opponent. Managed to hold that huge push at around the 8 or 9 minute mark with that maxed out Roach Ravager army. Tanks on the high ground were a huge part of that. Anti-armor missiles, a huge part of that as well. And then getting the drop in the main base to wipe out some of the economy to slow down Rogue just a little bit. And then the multi-pronged harass. He's pushing with his army at the 4th base while Marine drop is happening here at the main base, while Liberator at the 2nd and 3rd base too. Disgusting. What control there by TY. 30 kills for him, and losing 12 SCVs in the course of the game. And that is a nice way to start off your best of 5 against one of the scariest Zergs on the planet, TY. Nicely done. And let's go ahead and come back with game number 2. It's going to be Dreamcatcher for game number 2. TY is up 1-0 on Rogue. Rogue's in the bottom right. TY is in the top left. I do like this map. I just like any map that has plants and flowers and stuff. And gold bases, and Dreamcatcher fulfills all 3 of those. Alright, so this is a pretty darn early SCV scout for TY. This is pretty darn suspicious. Maybe he's just scouting for a 12 pool, but kind of feel like this SCV has nefarious intent. Oh, okay, he's going to throw up a barracks here. Yeah, 150 minerals. Go! No? Yes. Okay, so there's the barracks. There's the 2nd SCV coming down. It is proxy barracks shenanigans here. Oh boy, but it's a pool first. Oh, Rogue basically just threw scissors against the paper that TY is running with right now. Okay, this is exactly what you need to see if you're a Zerg player. If you hatch first against this, holding the proxy barracks like this is so incredibly difficult, but the pool first allows Lings to get out fast, allows you to deal with this fast and shut it down, and I just think TY is in for a world of hurt right now. Hatchery's going down because you do need the 2 hatch to make anything happen in Legacy of the Void. 1 hatch is not enough larva production to deal with as many workers that they give you with at the start, which is kind of a weird thing, but it's fine. And yeah, Overlord just checking for proxies in all the wrong places right now. This one might... Nah, it's not going to see this either. So they're not going to see proxies at all, which is a little bit weird because, I mean, he's looking and he's doing a good job looking. But no, another SCV comes in, and now this will be spotted by Rogue. He sees the SCV coming in and not scouting, and he says, okay, shenanigans afoot. He sees all these SCVs too and says, all right, immediate Roach Warren, Queen in production here. This is an SCV bunker marine rush right at my front door. Rogue has all the information and all the warning he ever needed to deal with this. He also has the early pool, allows him to get the Roach Warren up now instead of, say, in a minute and a half when it's too late. So far so good from the Zerg player if he can hold it. This would be really difficult for me to hold even with the pool first play. But again, I'm not Rogue. But again, it is TY, so on the other hand, this could be a quick 2-0 from TY. The Marines are up, the bunker is up in range of the hatchery, which is, if you start building before that creep spreads out, you can do that. This one as well is in range of that hatchery, and it's the block off. You can't even run by with Zerglings to try to pressure the front, right? Can't even pressure the Terran front while you're getting attacks back home. TY is executing this with exact precision as you'd expect from one of the best Terran players on planet Earth. And here goes nothing. Like, what does Rogue even have? He's got roaches, which is nice, but he's going to lose the hatch. How do you come back from losing the hatch? He's trying to save it here, but SCV is killed. This one bunker might actually die. Salvaging the one and then just moving into the second one. This is why you have 3 bunkers, in all honesty. Whoa, ton of Zerglings here now, too. Zerglings and a roach, and by golly, the hatch goes down, and that was the entire intent of that. If you are TY to take that down, but losing all these Marines is a problem because guess what? Super big roachling counterattack coming at you, and your production facilities are right here. Oh, snap. Hellions coming in for TY. He's going to try to reactor out some Hellions, get a starport up for Banshee defense. That's exactly what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to get Banshees out to shut this thing down, but Rogue has murder on his mind. He's expanding back home, but he really wants to try to kill TY right here. And if he'll be able to, that would be incredible. Like, just an amazing break on that to lose your natural hatch, wipe out the Terran army, and then counterattack like this. We'll see. We'll see if it works out. Roach is pretty great in these numbers versus Marines when there's only 2 of them. Only 2 Marines and 4 Roaches. Here we go. He's got to go now. He cannot wait any longer. Ling's coming up, going to try to knock down this wall, knock down this SCV. At the very least, repairing on that reactor, but no, it's down. You can't repair a building reactor. It dies before it can finish here. A Ravager in production, actually helping out here too, and that is a good game. Rogue manages to tie the game 1-0 in a very impressive counterattack there after losing his hatchery. Walks right across the map with his roaches and his Zerglings and breaks the front of TY and wins the game. Amazing, amazing display there. Honestly, if he didn't have enough to wipe out these Marines, like if he'd have to deal with the Marines, didn't have enough roaches or Lings maybe, right, and those guys are still alive and back here, that delays enough time to where TY can get a Banshee or a Liberator out, but nope. And actually making a Viking, I guess that's all he could really make. He was just making what he could at that stage of the game and tapped right the heck out. So great job. Great job by Rogue. That was close. That was almost down 2-0 against TY, which would have been disastrous for the Rogue player. But he managed to pull it off, and we're tied up, and now it's a best of 3 between these 2 players, which is always very fun. So let's check that one out, and stick with me. We'll be right back. Okay, well that was zippy. Real zippy game number 2 there, but game number 3 is going to be on Blue Shift, the ladder edition. Bottom left-hand corner, the Red Zerg player, it is Rogue. And top right-hand corner, we have TY. All right, so holy smokes, another SCV coming out. TY, are you proxying Rogue 2 games in a row? Ugh. I don't know if I could recommend this for you, but you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing in StarCraft 2, so go ahead, go forth and proxy. Actually, you just... No, there's a second SCV. This is absolutely proxy stuff right now. And there it is. There's your barracks. Another barracks again. 2 proxy barracks at the same time at the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Overlords are looking, man. This is what your job is, Overlord. Your job is to scout. You can do nothing else for the Zerg army. You can't attack. You do provide supply, which is nice, but otherwise you scout, and that's going to be all you are created to do. So double proxy here again. Again, another extractor pool build here from Rogue. He's going to be ready for wherever the heck this is, and he'll be just fine. I mean, losing your natural hatch was not fine, but his counterattack was genius and brilliant and totally worked out. So I'm sure Rogue's like, okay, if I get proxied again, I have the pool first play. It doesn't slow me down that much, and I will be able to deal with this. Now, part of the problem here is that there's a growing sentiment. Well, in the previous patch, there was growing sentiment that Terrans could not hang with Zerg in the late game. They just couldn't possibly do it. Zerg, just attention to the map, Zerg's macro, Zerg's ability to defend pretty much anything that Terran threw at them, plus be aggressive at the same time. I watched Dark take down Innovation 3-0, and Innovation's not playing super well over the last calendar year, but for the Korean qualifier, man, for WESG, Dark just looked unstoppable versus Innovation. Innovation, one of those 4 horsemen. So... I mean, maybe this is just TY's response to this. He's saying, I can't beat a Zerg who gets into the late game. I have to proxy him and try to kill him early. Look at this drone pull, rather, out of Rogue. What the heck, dude? Wow, this is amazing. And little known secret in StarCraft 2 is that drones are actually really good against unupgraded Marines. They're faster than they are, and they hit pretty hard. And it... Look at these guys go. Basically, they just waited for Zerglings to come out to shut down this bunker, and that's going to be it. Like, TY's aggression is over at this stage of the game. He's trying to get in here, but once again, the drones come in and say, no, stay out of that bunker. It's not for you. We're going to kill it. We're going to force you to at least salvage it here. Sure, 2 drones have gone down, but how many Marines have died so far? It's a lot. It's a lot of Marines that have died. And again, the whole point is to keep Marines out of this bunker. There's the salvage. TY gets a refund, and he heads home in shame. Look, both of his buildings are here. They're not here. And once again, the counterattack from Rogue. It's going to be Zerglings this time. Just Lings, but they're going to have speed exceptionally soon, and that is not walled off, you guys. It is a race to the front door. Can these SCVs get here? Can these Marines get here? Nope, speed's done. Speed is done. SCV down. Marines all dead. Speedling, unupgraded Marines versus this many Speedlings. There's no way. There's no way these guys are going to survive in any sense at all. The wall-off does come down. SCV shows up. Lings knocking on the door. There are Hellions in production, but the Hellion is far away. It's really, really far away comparatively right now. Zerglings are going to break down the supply depot. Where's the repair? Can they get in? I don't think they can get in. Another supply depot coming up right now, though. And that depot is going to die. This depot likely killing the SCV. Oh, actually did not kill the SCV building that starport. I thought he did, but a Hellion comes out and shuts that thing down. So, fantastic job there from the Terran player, managing to hold that thing. But did I just see? I thought I saw a drop lord, but that's not possible. So no drop lord. Third base. Yep, third base from Rogue here. Fair enough, dude. So we're just hanging out. No, but we didn't have a quick 4-minute match like that game number 2. Things are moving into more of a mid-game right now. Still, TY's on 1 base, and Rogue has started as a 3rd base already. The 1 gate or 1 barracks expand was not really possible. And 1 Hellion can hold this against this many Lings, no problem. I mean, if we were talking, I don't know, 20 Zerglings, it'd be a different story. But yeah, this is a fine defense from TY, and he knows it. He knows it. But guess who's getting a Roach Warren? Rogue sure is. He's getting a Roach Warren. I feel like he's going to try to push again on this. He's just, if you're just going to make Hellions, my Roaches are going to counter that so exceptionally well, you will not know what hit you. Raven on the way from TY again. Trying to make this Raven thing happen. Although, right, so there's the concern from TY that he maybe can't hang with Rogue in the late game, but he did pretty darn good against him in that 12-minute match in game 1. So he's got to be able to hang with him to a certain extent, and even kill him if the game gets past this first part. So it's not like TY doesn't have the macro skills to hang. I don't know why he chose to proxy like that, though. He didn't. He failed in the second instance he tried. As we just saw, pretty well shut down. Sure, there was a lot of lost mining time, but look, Rogue's up 39 to 28 harvesters. He's had a 2nd base forever. His 3rd base is going to pop within seconds of that natural base landing for TY. He is in a world of a great position right now. Overlord seeing, oh, there's a Raven. Okay, and there's a bunch of Marines, and there are a couple Hellions. That is perfect for Roach. Roaches do very, very well in these situations. Anti-armor missile, again, is a concern. But here we go. Looks like we have Roaches popping out. Lings hanging out down here. Ravagers in production as well. Working on Stim is the Terran player. More Roach, more Ravager. Stop making drones entirely here is Rogue. He's got 40 of them. That's all he's ever going to need. And here comes this push. Army supply, 42 to 26. Definitely favoring the Zerg player. This wall is not going to complete in time for this. Look who's distracted by these Lings down here. It's TY. He's trying to sneak down here with the Hellions and the Raven, but he's completely missing this push up his gut from Rogue. Ay caramba. All right, so these Hellions might get some work done. Are they heading home? Did they see this? He sees it now, regardless. And oh crap, these Marines are dead. There's a tank on the high ground, but there are 3, 4, 5 Ravagers present. Oh, and they're stacked together. No tanks, don't be stacked together. All right, so 1 tank down to Corrosive Bile. Another tank going to get down. Just a regular old Ling and Ravager attacks. There's no saving that. And that's your good game. Rogue is your winner with a sneaky Roach Ravager Zergling attack at the 6-minute mark. These games, you guys, these are zippy. This is a zippy little best of 5 for your Sunday series. Amazing stuff, though. And again, here we come in. I wish there was a way to just get out at the state the game was at when it ended, and I could see all the stuff that's happening, because I just kind of have to pause it right as it's about to end, right as the GG goes up, right? And then see that, oh, I missed it. Are you kidding? Whatever, it's fine. End of the game here, it was 3 Marines and a Raven for TY, so he was done. He was done, and he knew it, but man, he didn't see that coming. He did not see the attack coming right up the very, very middle. Rogue didn't try to hide that. He didn't come up this way. He didn't try to come up this way, which would have been bad, because that's where the Hellions were. But Bad times there. And really, TY was on uneven footing after his proxy got shut down as hard as it did, which is the risk of proxying. It is absolutely the risk of proxying. It's not good. It's not great. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Rogue is up 2-1 here. Some pretty simple stuff the last couple of games. Hopefully we'll see more of a macro style eventually. Again, TY has 1 game here before he goes home from BlizzCon. Send your energy to TY, you guys. He needs it. We'll be right back. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. I completely forgot that I already cast Game 4 from this series, so in the top right there's a link to go watch Game number 4 if you haven't watched it. It is an amazing macro ZVT between these two players, and I have no excuse other than that I have 3 kids and that I'm 35 years old, and I feel so old right now. Seriously though, pause this video if you haven't seen Game number 4. If you haven't seen the epic game between TY and Rogue that I cast on November 4th of this month, go watch it before you watch this. Okay, so TY's opening up with Proxy Barracks once again. Dude, you just beat Rogue. You just beat Rogue in a macro ZVT. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Why do you need to do this? I don't understand. I really don't get it. But once again, oh, hold your horses. That is a hatch first from Rogue. Overlord scouting, checking for proxies. Not going to see anything with this guy. This guy maybe, though. This guy actually may be the hero of all of Zergdom when all is said and done. That pool's going down. Okay, so that was not... Actually, it was a 17 pool. That's about as late as you're going to see standard in ZVT. So, his... Oh, boy. I mean, his hatch is going to finish pretty darn early here. These barracks are not done yet. All right, done. Marine on the way. And then done Marine on the way next of all here. But this hatch is just seconds from completing. That progress bar moving slowly but surely. Is he going for a 3rd hatch? Rogue's going for a 3rd hatch at the minute 40-second mark. Dude, this is as greedy and a macro build as you're ever going to see from a Zerg player against the Terran. And surprise! Surprise everything. Okay, so the Overlord sees this coming in. Sees the double SCV. Sees the bunker. Sees the Marine and said, you got to pull the drones, don't you? Don't you have to pull the drones here? Maybe, I guess Lings are enough. 4 Lings in production. Drones, Rogue. You gotta... You know what? You know what I bet he's going to do? He's going to let this die and be like, I already have this natural up here, sucker. What you going to do about that? It kind of feels that way to me. It kind of feels like he's going to be like, you know, whatever, get some shots off on this thing. I'll break it, but if not, so what? I already have another hatchery. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this from Rogue. He's making 6 more Zerglings in addition to the 4 he already has. He's making queens. He doesn't have a Roach Warren at all because it's too late. It was too late to go for it. He's got speed coming in. He's just calmly knocking down the unbuildable plates in his own natural base. And the queen's leaving. The queen is leaving. The Zerglings are leaving. They're abandoning this thing. But surprise. There's a surprise base up here, you guys. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Rogue just said, to heck with it. I have 2 base. Before you have 2 base. Way, way before you have 2 base. That's a factory now coming up. He's bringing his barracks home. He feels like he's on such a great position against Rogue, but the secret natural. The secret garden, you guys. Speed's almost done. When Speed's done, this bunker is dead. There's really no saving it. Speed is like, there we go, 6 seconds from completion. Thank you, WCS Gameheart. And the Ling's actually going for it anyway. There we go. Speed completing. SCV's down. Bunker down. And all the Marines are going to die. Trying to salvage. Actually getting the salvage off? Nope. Doesn't get the salvage off. That is not something Rogue is going to allow you. A couple SCVs die. A bunch of Marines die there too. And so Rogue's fine, man. He's on 2 bases. He's happy. He'll throw down his 3rd base here at about the 3-minute mark, which is cool because TY delayed all of his macro by doing the proxy barracks thing. I mean, attacking units currently is 4 for TY. He has 4 Marines. That's it. He can't expand with this. He needs to wait for the Hellions to come out before he can land an expansion in this base anyway. I mean, there's a bunker to shut this thing down. The Lings can't get through, but you can't move out with 4 Marines when there's this many Lings on the ground. You just can't do it. So, wow. This is very interesting play out of Rogue. There we go. That base coming out, reestablishing his natural. His third's happily running. He's 34 to 26 workers on the lead compared to his opponent. What does TY do here? He's still... Oh, he knows now. He knows there was a base the whole time. And he's like, oh, I thought I'd kept Rogue to one base. I thought I was on even bases with him. No, it's been 2 base the whole time, I'm afraid. Since you started that bunker rush, there was already a base coming up. That's actually kind of a benefit to doing this if you're Zerg. Go for the Rogue style, 1 minute and 40-second third hatch. And then if you get bunker rushed, you have another base anyway. It's no big deal. This is amazing. Roach Warren on the way here from Rogue. Overlord scouting this high ground here for Rogue 2. And, yeah, I mean, just barracks and starports and stuff. We got a reactor coming up on that starport, so probably medevac production. No Banshee, no Raven this time around, just going straight to Marine Tank with support from Stim on those dudes. And Hellions trying to roll into this base, which, again, they just barely knew and found out existed. Which, this Queen positioning is interesting. I guess they don't want the Hellions to get behind the mineral line, but holy crap, it turns out... If they get into the mineral line, they can do some damage. That's 9 drone kills. Who has the... 8 kills on this dude. 8 kills on this dude. He just went right up to the mineral line and went roast. And roast. And the second roast really got him those kills there. It was great. That was beautiful play from TY. He needed that because he was down about 20 workers, and now he's only down 16. 14, actually. 14 is much better than 16, as it turns out. Natural base done here from TY. Roaches in production from Rogue, pushing out some Zerglings, just trying to see if these Hellions are around, and they are. He wants to engage with them on creep, if at all allowed. Creep, tumor, live. Did he cancel that? Oh, he did cancel it. Nice cancel, Rogue. I thought it got canceled and not picked off. It seemed like the animation was different. So yeah, creep, tumor, fresh, ready, pink, and ready to go there. Coming and dropping at the natural base. TY, man, he's everywhere with these Hellions. And sure, if they get shut down, so be it. Zergling checking to see, is there a quick third base from TY? Of course there's not. Not even TY would do that in this situation. Because again, Lings are really scary. Lings effectively have map control here. There's not enough Hellions out to seed that, or to take that away from the Zerg. Working on a +1 attack, working on combat shield. Tanks in production here too. Marines pushing out, and yeah, it's just the same thing we saw in game number 1. It's a nice bookend here. It's roaches, it's +1 attack and armor for the roaches and ravagers and queens and hydras and whatnot, if there are going to be any hydras in this game. And so far, Rogue's just playing the deny game. He has overlords spotting different locations this medevac can set up where these Hellions can push in. Ooh, no, this is not a decoy. This is a straight up medevac trying to get in here and do some stuff. And not going to be able to just because, oh, extra queen shots. Look at this medevac. It's already down to 46 hit points, and it's forced to flee. It doesn't even manage to get into the main base at all. What a terrible position to be in from the Terran player. Man, 61 to 37 harvesters. Rogue continues to push up and take a lead there. Marine production is fantastic, though. Marines, tank production happening here, too. Marine tank going to have to be enough against this Roach Ravager style. That said, Corrosive Bile versus tank, pretty good. Pretty good spell. That changeling died, I think, before it hit the ground, which I don't think is possible, but that's what happened. Oh, Hellions, get out of there. Whoa, 1 dead, and that's a 2 dead. All right, hero Hellions of the day are dead, but the Marines are here and ready to take their place. They're taking down creep tumors. 10 more roaches in production. That's going to be a Roach Ravager style hold here. Ling's trying to see, can we sneak in while you're away? By golly, we can. Rogue, your counterattack capability here is just through the roof. Look at this. Marines down, natural base in a lot of trouble. Big old SCV Marine tank all in here from TY. His natural base is in shambles. I was wondering where all the SCVs went. They're right here. They're all right here. They're buffering for the Marines. The tanks are firing back here too. The tanks are actually in range of the third base. SCV's overextending a little bit there. Dude, don't be in this battle, guys. All right, they're in this battle. Cool, depressing, cool here. Ravagers trying to get close enough to take down these Marines. Maybe some Corrosive Biles would be good. Ling's getting on top of one of those tanks. Oh, nice Corrosive Bile on that medevac. Another tank does end up going down here. Is there enough from Rogue to clear through all that we see? Yes, he gets the other tank, and picking up and boosting out with his remaining Bile, which is 3 Marines, is TY. He did get the third base, though. That was a good snipe. He needed it. He needed to kill that third base because he's down about 20 workers, 30 workers. Hang on. 30 workers? What? Okay, that's super bad. That is super bad. Rogue oversaturated on his main base, but he's got another base coming up here for a fourth. He might reestablish his third. Why not? Long distance mining from his third, too. Marines pushing in, trying to get something done, but look at the supply. 124 to 66 in favor of Rogue right now. TY, I love you, man. I love what you've done so far. I love what you did in game number 4. But, man, it is a bad, bad spot for you right now. Really, really bad. Gonna kill these roaches. Hey, whittling down the Zerg army at all is a good thing right now. But then the rest of the boys show up, and that's not a good place to be in if you're a Terran. Dropping inside the main base, trying to kill a Marine, trying to kill a tumor, killing what you can, recognizing there's going to be a response here, so let's get out. Let's juke back down, abuse the ability that we have to fly. This medevac not doing much because of the Spore Crawler present at the natural base. An attack into this fourth base location. Nope. Ready to rock are the Zerg Swarm. The third base under attack again, even though it's not really a third base. But enough Marines and Ravagers, I think, to take this thing down. And yeah, there's the pickup and the boost out by TY. So he's into full retreat right now, man. He doesn't have a third base. Is he even trying to really go for one? No. Not really, no. And still not reestablishing his third is Rogue either, which should tell TY that there's going to be some aggression on the way. Replacing his Roach Warren, because he lost it. The Roach Warren was here at the third base, and it died along with the hatchery. +2/+2 on the way for the Roaches and Ravagers. And so far, if he wants to make anything, it's going to be Zerglings. Zerglings and Queens to defend against all of this, which is very exciting. All right, the medevac, not quite sure where to go to get out of here. Is it patrolling? Kind of. Queen's getting shots off. I mean, you could probably sneak down around this bottom side, right? I feel like you could. I'm feeling very much like you could. Empty medevac boosting in as a bit of a decoy. Oh, he's trying to draw army over this direction. And yep, the army comes over, but there's nothing in there. There's nothing in it. The army's actually pushing down the left side from TY. This poor medevac, just not quite sure what to do with herself. She has 28 hit points. She's in the red. She's not happy at all. This medevac is really just a scouting medevac right now. Taking shots from Queens. Trying to see third base ever come up. No, that means Rogue is planning on making a whole giant army, and by golly, he is. 181 supply right now after all the stuff we've gone through. All right, Marine tank, let's go against Roach Ravager. Crocodile's taking down one tank immediately. That was the sacrificial tank. There was no way that tank was surviving past that first volley, and TY knew it. Boosting up the left side. TY just going home. I mean, it's 185 to 111 supply right now. That is what you see after a player loses a major battle. That is the kind of supply difference you see when there's just been a shellacking on some level somewhere. Medevac finally dies. Pieces falling into the water here. Spore Crawler has a kill. Good job, Spore Crawler. You are a hero to the Zerg forces. And +2/+2 finishing up. It looks like Rogue is timing this attack to coincide with +2/+2 finishing. 12 seconds to go on that carapace. And it is 146 to 78 army supply. It's double the number for Rogue. The upgrades are incredible. The Terran upgrades are +1/+1, but +2/+2 making a big difference. Marines attacking into this natural, or the fourth base rather, for Rogue, doing some stuff. Hey, all right, this is a way to get back into it. Killing that hatch is a massive victory, and actually pulling Rogue back. Rogue is going home, you guys. Look at these guys come in. Queens trying to transfuse themselves and keep them alive. No, not going to happen. Lings, Roaches forcing the lift off. Enough Lings do show up to augment the Roach forces. Trying to unload here at the replacement of the third base, which is not done yet, by the way. Rogue's on 2 base and TY's on 2 base. Sure, Rogue still has a 190 supply Zerg army, which is abjectly terrifying in all the wrong ways if you're not Zerg. This little drop, that was not the place to unload at all. Corrosive Vials getting dodged well by the medevac. Roach's Ravagers knocking down these rocks, allowing quick access to the third base, which TY is, by the way, trying to take right now. So pretty good game sense from Rogue, recognizing when those rocks needed to die and then taking them down. Oh, who's getting Tunneling Claws? Rogue's getting Tunneling Claws and Burrow. Corrosive Bile is desperately trying to kill its medevac that's just following them around. Just narking on them to the Terran army. That's fantastic. Another medevac trying to come in, but again, flying over creep means you're seen, you're detected, and you're gonna die. So he unloads on the creep, trying to kill some creep tumor, trying to do something. That poor Marine. He had no chance at all. All right, here we go. Double front attack here from Rogue, gonna come right on in from both directions. The pincer attack onto the tanks in the back, coming right on through. The tanks in the front are in trouble. SCV's trying to hold here as well. This is not looking good for the Terran player in any sense. Tank gone. Another tank. Going to get Corrosive Bile down instantly. It is 156 to 63 supply, and that's your good game. And Rogue is your winner of this best of 5 from Blizzcon 2018. He will move on to the next round. What an incredible display of Zerg power there from Rogue. He allows his natural base to be killed because he knows he has a third base already. Basically fools TY into thinking he just struck a decisive blow against his Zerg opponent. But he didn't. And the Roach Ravager attack was enough. The 2-2 was enough. It was just a overwhelming Zerg force there. Sure, a couple hatcheries died here. Rogue killed 1, 2, 3 different hatcheries in this game. Or TY did. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter in the long run here. Resources lost about the same, 12,000 to 12,000. Rogue just had more stuff. More stuff he could afford to lose. The positioning was fantastic. The sneak around from the backside to kill these tanks while still pushing up this ramp. Multi-pronged harass, man. Multi-flank attacking. That is pure Zerg style. And that is exactly what our friend Rogue is capable of. Hoorah! All right. Well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your Sunday series. Well, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.